Sorry, Springfield, this is just a visit. You don't have a PF Chang's. Adam, Carolla.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Springfield. Thanks for coming out. We'll get started. We'll bring out Gina and Bryan in a couple of few. I always write down a few thoughts, a few notes about the town that I'm going to, sometimes the travel. But I am curious. I experienced something on the airplane that I've never experienced before, which is, and you guys tell me where you come down on this, a lot of discussion about whose armrest is whose, or whose overhead baggage space is whose, but I encountered a whole new realm of whose is whose. I stretch my feet out. I'm 6'2", we're flying economy. I'm trying to stretch out a little bit here. The guy sitting in front of me had both feet tucked under his seat, but I would argue under his seat is my seat. That's my feet seat. Under his seat, and then I'm magnanimous, under the dude in front of his seat is more his feet seat, right? Whose space is that? It's under your asshole, true, but I need to fucking use it and you don't. Why are you tucked in? You doing a cannonball on this flight? Like, I did a 3-hour cannonball, and I'd never experienced it before. And so, do you guys ever have that super weird, eerie thing where you're stretching your feet out, you make contact with something you think is solid, but you don't know if it's part of the plane or part of a human being, because it's there and it's stationary. So at some point, you muster the courage to push on it a little bit, and it moves. Now it's like when you think something's a rock and you touch it and it's a sea anemone, and you go, fuck, oh, it's alive. It was alive, this thing in front of me. Then it's weird because I just pushed down hard on this person's foot and it moved. Now where am I? Over the back, apology. Tap, tap on the seat, no harm, no foul. Like, where are we? Or just keep flying? Because I just kept flying. I didn't say anything. But who the fuck flies in a full tuck position? Maybe this guy's a close cousin of the same assholes who can't sit on a sofa without tucking one foot up on the fucking pillow at the bottom of their goddamn shoe. Mostly chicks, all narcissists. They sit on a sofa and it's not good enough. They gotta get their foot off the fucking hardwood and put it onto the upholstery. Just the one. Just in case they have to fart or flee or something. I was walking through your fair city, fair to Midland city. Well, let's call it what it is. It's quaint. Saw a motorcycle. Big Harley parked in front of the coffee shop. I'm trying to think of which kind of Harley it was, but anyway, had the Confederate flag on the gas tank. Don't see a lot of that in Malibu. I left Malibu this morning. I only saw a handful of Confederate flags on Harleys. I don't think that would last in Los Angeles. I'm sure it'd just be stolen or something by a homeless person, but also went to a burger joint in town here, had a decent burger, but, and I don't know if you guys are seeing a lot of this or not, but on the TV at the restaurant, they've got a big 60-inch TV. They got that Guy Fieri show going. Backyard boners and dingbats or whatever that show is. And so you're sitting there and you're looking at your measly offering on your paper thing. It's like, do you want the ranch burger? Do you want the Baconator burger? And you're looking up And Guy Fieri's kicking ass up there. He's got the brisket, they got the handmade bun, the guy's making the chutney, and all we're doing is going, fuck, I wish I was there. Let's see. It's hotter than shit outside. It's weird hot here. You know, where I'm from, it's just hot. Here, it's weird hot. It's wet, weird, oppressive hot. And there is a saving grace, though. I don't know if you guys have been running into this, but my hotel room has a record player in it. This is the new hip thing. There's records in the room. There's Sonny and Cher, Bobby V, Gary Lewis and the Playboys, like shit you never want to listen to on a contraption you don't know how to work. I don't even think the shit is plugged in. Chris, you got a record player in your room too?
I do, yeah.
Who lays out a hotel in 2022 and goes, all right, towels, bathrobes, record players? But I'm too fucking lazy to even try to work that thing. Like, I can barely put the bathrobe back on the hook, much less go full DJ Khaled on a Bobby V record. Let's see, what else did I think about your town? You have good iced tea, God bless you. You don't have that passion fruit bullshit. Tastes like fuck. You cannot get regular iced tea in LA. It's all fucking passion fruit, which is basically tastes like someone put potpourri in a gym sock and dunked it in warm water. Fucking sucks. You know you live in a shit town when you go to some shitty burger joint. We're all over the moon about iced tea. It's regular iced tea. It's fucking awesome. Oh, I do enjoy traveling to smaller towns in the Midwest because I get to see something I never get to see in LA or Malibu or Glendale, California. I saw a Saturn automobile. Now, I'm in Malibu now. I've seen 7,000 Teslas. I haven't seen a Saturn in 11 years in Los Angeles. I fucking walked outside of the hotel room and almost got hit by a Saturn. So God bless you guys, keeping those Saturns on the road. Thinking about heading to Branson tomorrow. I don't know if is that a good idea? It is? No? Well, what? I mean, what am I to do here, I guess is the question. More to do in Branson? Can I go see like Jimmy Osmond play the trumpet or something? Is there something going on in Branson I could see? Yakov Smirnoff's in Branson. What a country. All right, shall we get it started and welcome Gina and Bald Bryan to the show here? Gina, Bald, in studio.
That's right where you left us.
Test the internet. How's it going? Say a few words.
I think the internet's doing okay. Gina's been farting in your chair, which I warned against.
Which is weird since I'm standing. We should do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back and forth just to make sure we're crystal clear.
I'm good. I hear you guys. Well, this is kind of.
Oh, I was gonna fuck with you. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Fuck. See, this is why. That's why I got to attend the pre-meetings, the pre-show meetings. Is it 125?
Consists of walking the streets of a local town.
I walk the beat, man. I keep it real. I look around, you know. You know, this is This is a big-time city because the movie theater says Hollywood in front of it. So you know they're not fucking around when it comes to entertainment.
I don't think the Chinese theater says Hollywood.
Oh, that's true. So,
I'd love to make fun of the Midwest with you, but I feel it's a little sacrilegious for me. I say you fucking go all in on Branson tomorrow.
I'm going all in. I don't even know what's there. I know my old dear departed friend Philip the Juggler ended up moving to Branson and working a theater there for years before he passed away. So maybe I'll go there and go on a little pilgrimage and find out who's taken over Philip's old theater. They got go-karts?
I want to ask the people.
Oh,
yeah, of course they do.
They got Is it indoor go-karting? Oh, they got go-karts. It's not fucking go-kart weather out here, man. It's too goddamn hot, and I love a go-kart. Oh, but go-karts are no good for dudes like me because I love driving, but I'm 200 pounds, and there's going to be some 8-year-old Asian girl kicking the shit out of me. She's going to fucking dust me, and I don't like that. I don't like the optics. She didn't have. Oh, there's no Asians in Branson. All right. Well, they may import a few just to piss me off.
It'll be just like being back in school. The Asians doing better.
That's right. That's right. Just like algebra back in the 9th grade, which I never took. All right. Do we want to do?
Adam, I gotta ask.
Yes.
You know in LA, we go, oh, Neiman Marcus. You mean needless markups? Mm-hmm. The Missouri equivalent. We do. Oh wait, I'm sorry. You're not a Jew. The Missouri equivalent of that, if I remember correctly from my days in Kansas City, is you go into Silver Dollar City or Steal Your Dollar City.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Am I right, guys?
Wow, that's pretty damn good. All right, I think let's see. We can do we can play a little game. Do you want to do that, Chris? You want to host our game?
I'd love to. Rotten Tomatoes game. Here we go.
Listen to that noise. Such a high falsetto voice that can only mean one thing, and you can feel it.
Got some names of flicks, and the gang makes their picks, guessing if it's rotten or fresh.
If you guess it exactly, we'll get a bonus 5.
It's the Rotten Tomatoes game. You know how we do it. Give me the Rotten Tomatoes game. Now it's time to play it.
I would like to compliment this town on having a kind of old school throwback hobo scene. It's like,
Are we talking bindles on sticks?
yeah, like kind of bearded guys talking to themselves, not the weaponized, fentanyl-fueled, pipe-wielding nut jobs we have in LA. It's like we have the Africanized killer bees, and you just have honeybees here. They're just kind of, you won't get stung. Just walk around the hive. You know what I mean? Like people, they're pretty docile, homeless, right?
I noticed because the homeless people here are only missing 1 or 2 teeth, whereas in LA they're missing all their teeth.
They're missing all the teeth.
Yeah, so it's nice to just see some windows in there.
Yeah. That's probably a good way to gauge you're homeless. Yeah. All right,
Rotten Tomatoes game. Here we go. So we're in Springfield, Missouri, which is a source of some of the greatest actors to ever make their mark on the silver screen. So that's right. So in honor of this wonderful city, the theme today are films starring Springfield's finest.
I hear Brad Pitt comes from.
All right. So in our first movie, Springfield's own Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Stars as a man living an ordinary mundane life with a failing marriage. However, things aren't always as they seem when it's revealed he's secretly an international assassin. But then again, so is his wife. As killers from competing agencies, the two must either face off against each other or reignite the passion they once had, starring Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, and Vince Vaughn from 2005, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Great movie, fun movie. Everyone loved it.
I love this movie.
And it had that scene.
Wouldn't you have loved?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, to go back in time and say, Brad Pitt, here's the deal. Take the movie, don't take Angelina. Trust me, I know she's hot. I know she's a 10. I know she's the one that everyone's talking about. Trust me on this.
You know, this movie had one of those, my favorite scene, and they do it in all those movies where the guy kind of gets called into action, where he goes out to the garage or the wood shop or whatever, and he hits the button and the display opens. It's got the grenade launchers, the M16s all backlit, all mounted perfectly. Seems really cool, and it's been in like, this scene has been in 7,000 movies, right? And it's the secret compartment. He goes back there, you know, in any movie. It could be the cabin wall, could be the garage wall, could be anywhere, could be in the living room, but they hit the certain button and everything opens up and there's the crazy arsenal. And they go, this is my secret stash of weapons. And in it, you know, throwing stars and M16s and grenade launchers and everything, right? And I always go, so cool. Nobody knew about it, right? It's a secret stash. Wouldn't it take at least 4 months to construct it? Like, wouldn't you have a small army of guys in your backyard? Like, wouldn't your neighbors come around and go, what the fuck are you building here? It's a deck, Bob. It is? Why do you have pneumatic doors and an M16 cut out up there? Like, wouldn't the whole fucking neighborhood know about it? They don't make prefab rooms to put M16s. That shit took at least, you gotta pull permits, engineering. I've been there, man. Everyone in the fucking neighborhood would be talking about your stash of grenade launchers. They would all know about it. They never cover the construction part.
One of the reasons this movie's great is because they address that. I don't know if you remember, it's a small part, but he has a nosy neighbor who finally gets to see the house when he's using it as a human shield. He's like, oh, this is what your house looks like. So he's been taking very careful steps not to show it.
I just feel like if anyone here built an arsenal in their backyard with pneumatic doors and lighting and articulating arms and a whole wall of weaponry well lit, I just feel like people in the neighborhood would catch on. I don't think you could pull off an above ground pool without a couple neighbors knowing what the fuck was going on. And you could put that shit up in a day. This would take months. All right, so totally unbelievable movie. But exciting and fun. And
this is directed by Doug Liman, director of Go and Swingers and Edge of Tomorrow. It's a smart, funny movie.
All right, so the only reason critics wouldn't like this is if they were kind of snobs and just thought it was just too silly. All right, you guys got it?
Yep.
I am going with Fresh at 78.
All I remember is being crushed that people didn't like it as much as me. I think the critics were hard on it because it was more style, they thought. So I went low at 55.
Oh, God, here's me. I should know after almost 8 years. I said 57, but Brian got in my fucking head, and I gave him
love this movie.
10 points. I said 67.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith is Fresh at 60%.
Oh, wow, that is just fresh. Ooh, and the people have it lower than the critics. What the fuck? What movie would you want to see, people?
You know, I think they were mad because I think this is the movie that broke up Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston.
Oh.
Yeah, there was some bad energy going into this coming out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Our next movie stars Springfield's very own Brad Pitt. This movie features a depressed office worker who suffers from insomnia, forming an odd bond with a strange soap salesman. The two form a club, which I'm not allowed to talk about, starring Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, and Helena Bonham Carter from 1999, Fight Club.
Now, I don't want to
go with.
Yeah.
I love this movie.
This movie's amazing.
I love this movie. I own this movie on DVD.
Everyone loves this movie. Now, look. I do not want to turn this partisan crowd against me. And I know you're pretty proud about now that Brad Pitt was shit out in your hometown. But like I told the crowd many years ago in, where were we? In Illinois. And and it was where Cindy Crawford was born, and they were making a big to-do about Cindy Crawford being born in, I'll think of the city in a second. But
DeKalb?
DeKalb. I think it was DeKalb. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, she was born in DeKalb.
Creepy that you know that.
Yeah. And I did have to remind them that she was born there, but she got the fuck out of there on her 16th birthday and has never been back. And it's not really about where you were born. That's completely arbitrary. You end up moving to Malibu. So really, even though there's a lot of civic pride for the folks of DeKalb or Springfield, the pride should be in where those people moved to once they woke up and got a driver's license. Sorry. But I'm sure a lot of A-listers were born in Malibu and then moved out to Springfield. That Bryan, you regale us with all the
I mean,
names.
the list goes on and on.
Yeah. So, okay, it's a two-way street. All right. This movie, everyone loved it. Everyone loved this movie, and I'm sad to say I've not even seen the entire movie all the way through, which I'm embarrassed.
What?
You-
Fucking wrong with
I
you?
know.
But it's also very much in line with Adam's kind of ethos. You know, it's about men being emasculated and changing times. You'd find this to be a very good message.
Yeah, this was on the cutting edge of toxic masculinity.
Doesn't Meatloaf have titties in this movie?
His
Yeah.
name is Bitch Tits.
Yeah, Bob had this thing.
Yeah. All right.
You gotta see it.
All right. The critics love this. You guys locked in?
Yep.
Or did they?
88.
No, this is really controversial when it came out, and it turned off a lot of people with the violence. I went low, and I love this movie genuinely. Crime at 55.
You're insane. There's no way. I will walk out if you're right. I thought this was a universally beloved. It's
I love
a
it.
cult classic. It was cool. It was stylized. Critics eat that shit up. I said 91.
Fight Club is certified fresh
Ah,
at 79%.
All right.
That's
All right.
weird.
We
But
got-
the fans have it at 96.
We got a game here, people. It's on now.
Yeah.
All right, for our next movie, we're going to go back to World War II, where Brad Pitt finds himself a long way from Springfield as he assembles a crack team of Jewish soldiers to kick Nazi ass and take Nazi scalps. The team infiltrates a movie premiere to take down Hitler himself, starring Brad Pitt, Christoph Waltz, and Melanie Laurent from 2009, Inglourious Bastards.
Great movie.
halfway through, it's like going with Fury.
Yeah, this is a fun
This is a great-
damn movie.
I love this movie.
I love this movie, and I kind of realized that I just love Tarantino movies now. I sit around and just wait for his next offering. He's got to start doing something with his hair, though. His hair's getting weird. He's getting that thing. You know, remember I say your face and your hair can't be more than 18 years apart. You know what I mean? Get it? Apart. The point is he's starting to get some distance. He's got about 22, you know, he can't have jet black hair into your, you know, early 60s, late 50s. All right. This is a great movie. Very violent. Critics, maybe a couple of points off. Christoph Waltz was insanely great in this movie. Oh, Bryan, isn't this the movie I lost $18,000 on?
I think you only lost like a 16-8, but yeah, you lost a lot of money.
No, wasn't that Django? I thought it was Django.
Oh, maybe it was Django.
Yeah.
Yeah, Django, I lost like $18,000
Yeah,
on this movie.
Adam wanted to bet that he would win Best Supporting Actor, and Cousin Sal talked you out of it.
And he should have.
No, Nick Santora
Oh, Nick
talked
Santora,
me.
that's right,
He
yeah.
talked me out of it. He was going off at like.
Adam wanted
Shit.
you want to put 1,000 to 1.
Yeah.
Right, I wanted to put $1,000. He was going off like 18 to 1. I was like, he's gonna fucking win this.
That's it.
And I was convinced to do $100 instead. Anyway, this is a great movie. You guys are locked in. I say the critics loved it, and I say 89.
I'm right there with you, 90.
I stuck with my previous answer, went 91.
We have a 5-point deduction.
Oh.
Inglourious Bastards is certified fresh at 89%. Adam with a -5.
I needed that.
All right, for our next film, even the greatest of warriors can have an Achilles heel. Such is the case in this loose adaptation of Homer's Iliad, where Brad Pitt from Springfield fights in a war that begins with an affair and ends with a wooden horse, starring Brad Pitt, Eric Bana, and Orlando Bloom from 2004, Troy.
Yeah.
I've seen this movie like 10 times.
That is so gay, Brian.
Is this movie bad? Is it good? I'm not turning to Bryan on this one. He's a liar.
We're about to find out.
Look at the poster. He looks like he did his own perm.
This is directed by Wolfgang Peterson, who did The Perfect Storm.
Did anyone see this movie? Is it good? I'm getting some thumbs. I'm getting thumbs down from the thumbs down. A thumbs down. All right. Well, you
Was
were
this
in
like
the minority.
Was this in the 300 era with like just buff dudes?
This came, I think, a little before, and this is very traditional, like sword and sandal shit.
Speaking of minority, it's weird when you're from LA traveling around seeing white people working. We're in the burger place, and this white guy's pushing a broom right past us, and I wanted to go, hey, brother, you don't have to do that. Come on. In LA, whether it's tree trimming, in the kitchen, working the grill, pushing the broom, mowing the lawns, it is only Hispanics. That is it. It is 100%. That is it, right? In a kitchen environment.
Yeah.
We went to a place, they had the open grill, and you could see the guys cooking the grill, making the burger, pushing the broom. Just whitey.
That's why you're taking so many pictures with your phone.
I kept grabbing him by the upper arm going, you're better than this. This is why you got to show up to the meetings. You're missing out on all this information. All right, this could...
Well, that's why you get chicken in the Midwest at KKKFC.
Oh, stereotype.
You turn the crowd, Gina.
I'm from there. I can say it.
All right, now listen. I feel like I have a small lead here. I have not seen this. Who is the director of this film?
Almost positive it's Wolfgang Peterson.
It doesn't make it.
Did he do other films? I don't.
Perfect Storm.
Yeah.
Perfect Storm. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. I do not know. This could be a.
Oh, this is a big movie full of stars and like a name direct. This was a huge release.
Okay.
But was it a turkey? And maybe I'm thinking of that Oliver Stone movie where he went out and.
Alexander.
Yes. Now that turned out to be a shit
I
show.
will say.
Yes.
Alexander's worse than this.
Okay. I don't know. Do you guys know? I'm turning to my crowd. I'm getting thumbs down. Okay. I say 55.
Yeah, it's pretty middling. I said 51.
I have no clue, but judging by the poster, I said 39.
It has its moments for sure, but it's not great.
Troy is rotten at 53%.
Oh, yeah.
This is close.
Wow.
Adam, you and I tied on that one.
We got a game on.
All right, for our final film. What starts as two gal pals heading out on a fishing trip takes a dark turn as the two ladies find themselves on the run from the law. As the two attempt to flee to Mexico, one of them falls for a sexy young thief played by the pride of Springfield, Brad Pitt. Starring Susan Sarandon, Gina Davis, and Harvey Keitel from 1991, Thelma and Louise.
I was.
You know what's tough?
Yeah.
No, I was saying what's tough about movies like this. This is a phenomenon. This like captured the nation's attention, but the critics see it before it comes out and like has that impact. So what they thought of it, irrespective of what impact it had.
I was told that Brad Pitt's parents still live in town and live in the same house. And everyone always goes, oh man, they're keeping it real, like humble, like the same house that Brad Pitt grew up in, the parents grew up in and all that. But what if that house was a mansion? No one really works that angle, you know what I mean? Like, we just assume everyone grew up in a log cabin. My fucking kids, those little shits grew up in 7,300 square feet with a fucking infinity edge pool. So are people gonna think, oh, they're keeping it real in La Cañada? Sonny Carolla's living in the same mansion he grew up in. Still's got the same Grubhub guy dropping off the food. Keeping it real. Maybe Pitt grew up super wealthy in a big mansion in Springfield. We don't know. That's like, yeah, that's the elevator he used to take when he was a young child up to the 3rd floor of his mansion. That's the same old ladder with the wheels on it that he'd use in the library. All right, this is tough. We got a close game. Brian's right. This became a piece of Americana, but did the critics love it? Like, was it a great movie? This seems a kind of fair to middling, kind of okay movie. Brian, what'd you think of Thelma and Louise?
I don't think it hit me as hard for that came out in 1990 or something. Like, it didn't hit me as hard as a 13-year-old boy as it did probably for, my mom and her friends.
Yeah. It was the kind of sisters doing it for themselves, which I think is good for a couple of points. I feel like I have a small, very, very small lead. I gotta be conservative. I don't know, and for that reason, 78.
Ooh, this might do it. I said it's directed by Ridley Scott. I said it's 86.
This was a really big deal. You're right, it was the sisters doing it for themselves. Nobody really knew who the fuck Brad Pitt was, but...
Do you know who he beat up for the role, amongst others?
Who?
George Clooney.
Ooh, two good
Clooney.
asses. But I remember people wigging out, losing their minds over the ending. For whatever reason, that was revolutionary. I said 88.
Thelma and Louise is certified fresh at 85%.
Oh shit, I was one off.
Oh, damn. This is tight.
This is tight.
What'd I do, 78?
Yeah, you did.
Damn. This is a tight-ass game.
All right, I got the scores here for you, and I'll just say between first place and third place, there is a 7-point difference. You all did great.
Holy
yeah,
smokes.
pat yourselves on the back. So, let's kick this off with a score of 33.
That's good.
Ball Brian.
I'll take it. Jose Canseco for the win.
And with a score of 38, in third place is Gina Grad. Adam Carolla, you're at first place with 31. And that's the Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes!
It's the Rotten Tomatoes game. You know how we do it.
Brian, there's no
Good
reason
stuff.
to check Max Apatis math. He's Asian, even if it's the bad kind of Asian that doesn't do math.
Yeah.
He's still technically Asian.
I'm the only Asian here, so take what you can get, Springfield.
All right, should we roll into a little news, Gina Grad?
Let's do it. There's a new game show, a reality show in the UK that I imagine, I'm just assuming most of our listeners would probably want to apply for. It's scouting for well-endowed fellas, and it's called Too Large for Love. It's a documentary
My
reality.
passport's expired. I'd love to go, but the State Department.
It's a new British series. It'll reveal the often harsh realities of living with just a massive penis. A statement from the producer says that this show aims to discuss the hidden problems of living with a large penis, how it affects all aspects of life, including your sex life, and what help is out there for those in need. Nudity not required, but definitely encouraged.
I'd comment on it, but I got an ongoing lawsuit with the producers because I had a game show called Sack Attack. It was guys with huge scrotums, and we scouted for these guys. And again, I think this is a fucking blatant ripoff of my Sack Attack idea, which I had copywritten,
Right.
by the way. So again,
Yeah.
I remember you joined like 20 gyms just in research.
Yeah, I did. I did a lot of fucking leg work and inner thigh work, and I talked more about it, but Garagos has said, nah, just keep it on the down low until they're served. So I can't really get into all
Well,
the
you know,
details. Yes.
I was working on that show about big boobs called Pendulous, and then I went
Yes.
ahead and got that reduction, and now that's all went.
Now you're on Pendulous.
That's right.
When can we? All right, let's see if we can figure this out. Big dick. I think there's a sort of medical cutoff for when you technically get to be a dwarf or a midget or a little person. Like Chris is
Yeah, like
short.
there's a-
Chris is
Yeah.
short, but he doesn't get a fucking handicap placard on his Prius,
I know
right?
it sucks, yeah.
Yeah, you got all the negative of short minus the parking space in front of the Costco, right?
It's 4'10" or less.
If you can, Chris, if you can still shop in the adult section, you're officially not a dwarf.
So 4
Or about
foot,
4 feet or less.
4
can
foot
barely
10 or
do it.
less for a male adult, and
Yeah,
you can get
yeah.
dwarf status. Okay, now. We also need a dwarf size for a dick, and we also need when it becomes a large hog. You know what I mean? Like we need a cutoff. Like is it 7 3/16, or am I outing myself? Maybe make it an even 8. Like where are we? And we have to factor in girth, and that's why it can't just be about pulling out a ruler. We have to do the water displacement. We have to. How many milliliters do you displace? You know what I mean? I think if we had like how many cc's do you, and again, I don't want to make a whole thing about it. We just lower you down onto a beaker. We inexplicably make the water blue like they do in the tampon commercials. Because the camera, just kind of catch the camera.
Oh, you're recording this?
Yes, we have. Well, for my show, we're going to do it with the scrotum sack, but now these guys ripped off. So what do you think? Like, we do have to figure out what a huge dong is first, and I think we need to have it needs to be measured. Like, it needs to be, or maybe we treat it like the NFL Combine, see what the vertical is, the 40 time, hog to sack ratio. That's also got to factor that in. Who's got the
Well, I'm
biggest
looking
dick out
here.
there, Gina? Is it
Yeah,
the
I'm looking on Live Science. There's a guy, an actor in New York, named Jonah Falcon.
Jonah Falconer.
Yeah.
Yeah, who claims to have a 13.5-inch hog.
No, it's verified.
Oh, okay. What, by you?
Yeah.
He's been the subject of many articles and.
And the smallest, any guesses on the smallest male penis, adult penis?
No, give it to us.
1.5 inches.
1.5 inches. Now,
Oh my.
just
Lot of range.
so we can get on the same page, and at the risk of repeating myself, you do know, because people don't measure their dick in a fair way. Like, I've seen guys go full Harry Carey with their fucking yardstick. Like, they've sucked in 3.5 inches. It's like literally puncturing their spleen, trying to bury the first 3 inches. Oh, 11-inch cock, Guy gives himself a C-section trying to swallow 4 inches of ruler. Unfair. The only scientific way to do it is with a piece of yarn. And it goes as follows. Center of the anus, once around the balls to just past the tip. And then you lay that out. It's the only scientific way to do it. And when
It's
I
been said
say
many
just
times.
past the tip, come on. Now we're taking you at your word. Do not get too generous with that yard. Just past. Sorry, Gina. What else we got?
And just for the men out there, I get it. It's very impressive. But I don't know, and I remember I'm in LA, so I don't know a man or woman who wants an 11-inch penis inside them.
Well, that's a good point. Oh, literally, it's a good point. Yeah, it's funny. We always talk about the women, like, oh man, nobody wants to have to deal with that, you know. But what about the fellas? You know, because that's a real commitment. Like the
we know about size queens. Are there size queens on the other team?
I mean, I think so, and more power to you. But speaking of that, guess what I just found out? And I don't know if there's any in LA or across America, but I know in New York and on the East Coast, there's like a legit fisting community.
Oh.
So perhaps I should give them a ring and find out, because there's a community. They have like conventions.
Tell Mike August new live show.
Well, it takes a village, Gina. Even amongst the fisting community. Oh my God. Do they have like a storefront? Like, is there any chance a dad could be walking past and see his son and the Mr. Fisters over there and go, the fuck is he doing in there?
They see a guy with a black power hand and they're like,
oh, yeah.
We know you.
Yeah, hey brother, can I borrow your pick? You don't have an afro. Oh no, I just need the handle. All right, sorry.
All right, moving on. Let's talk a little Mike Tyson.
Hold on, is this,
he says,
are they auditioning for this new show with the guy with the huge hogs?
Yeah.
I'd like to just go down to audition, not because I have a big dick, just because I would like to say that's where I was. You know what I mean?
Adam, you're half hour late to the show. Where were you?
Oh, if anyone needs me.
Yeah.
Oh man, I spent the whole fucking day down at the huge hog audition. It was grueling.
Really?
Grueling.
Wow.
Thank God I brought a Gatorade, because I am fucking dehydrated, man. Yeah, it was a long day. But, you know, they put a call out for guys with huge hogs, so, you know, I had to answer the call.
So that's where you ended up?
Yeah, it's like when Batman sees the bat signal up there, you know, I just see that huge hog waving in the clouds, and I answered the call. Hey, wow. Bryan, you would have done the same if you didn't have a micro penis.
That's true, 100% true.
Yeah, so I went down there. It's kind of nice to be, you know, a little bit of a fraternity. You know what I mean? Like, you know, guys, like, you know, you go to one of those Mothers Against Drunk Driving meetings, and it's all people that have been in the same place, except for instead of your kid being killed, you have a huge hog. So anyway, that's why I'm late. I took, if you don't believe me, I took 217 pictures while I was there.
You better not say Getty Image over.
No, just waiting in line, not once we got in.
Oh, sure.
Obviously, that's a no phone zone there, you know.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah,
well,
the building had
me impressed.
Yeah, the building had foil up on the windows, so that's how I knew where it was. Anyway, whatever you're doing, let's get back to it. I was just down.
Yeah,
you know,
let's start the show.
auditioning because it was a show for guys with huge dicks. Yeah.
Wow.
Even if you're rocking a 2.5 incher, it behooves you to show up and stand in line.
Yeah.
If people see you, like, oh, that's the line of the guys with the huge wings.
That's what that's the plan. Yeah. Yeah. If they did a game show about guys who are very excellent at eating pussy, I'd probably go down and be photographed in that line too. You know, I'd immediately, I would bug out as soon as the camera left. But yeah, sorry, Gina. What else we got?
Yeah, no, my pleasure. Mike Tyson says that when he fought Roy Jones in 2020,
oh,
he
speaking
was on
of Tyson,
a
hold on. Let me say this about like the guy Falconer with the huge hog in New York City.
Yeah.
I think they did a MTV show about him. So, and Mike Tyson. So, if you're Mike Tyson or you're the guy with the huge dick, you will definitely scare away a certain percentage of the populace, but there'll be a large enough group that wants to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Mike Tyson needs bodyguards because even though he's the baddest man on the planet, there's a small percentage of crazy people who live in this country who want to fuck with the baddest man on the planet. And I would say there's a small group of women who want to have a go at the baddest cock on the planet, right?
Yeah.
Show of hands,
They want to
ladies.
go a couple of rounds at the champ.
So I think it would work out for him, right? I'm loosely basing this on the amount of pussy midgets get. Midgets get a
Care to
ton of
elaborate?
pussy. If you ever talk to little midget dudes, they're always talking about the fucking blonde twins they were plowing the night before. And you go, why is it? Because it's a curiosity factor. I think it's the same thing. And by the way, you'd probably get the dwarf fuckers would probably be the same crew that were hanging on the giant hog. You want to talk about feast or famine? All right. It's important. And if you're gonna fuck a dwarf or you're gonna fuck a guy with a huge hog, you gotta do it in the right order. Although I could make a strong argument for both directions. What do you guys think, ladies? If you're gonna go, let's say Wednesday night is dwarf night, Thursday night is huge hog night, or do you flip the script? Do you start with the huge hog and then go dwarf? No.
I just got a text. I just got a text from Brad Williams. He says he'd like to have a word with you after your performance.
I think you got it. Well, this is tough. I'll tell you why. Let's remove your vagina from the equation for a second. I think emotionally for the dwarf, you have to start with him. I don't think you could
Work your way
go
up.
from that Duraflame log to that chapstick. He'll read it on your face, you know what I mean? He'll see it in your eyes. He'll see the relief, maybe you'll crack a smile, maybe a little snicker. I think for the dwarf, emotionally, you start with the dwarf. Okay. All right, I got this down now.
I'm glad we got
Okay,
that
we can
settled.
move on. Do you guys agree, or don't you, Gina? Who do you start with?
I was curious to see what your argument was going to be for the other way around, because that I don't foresee being a good time.
The only other argument you can make for the other way around, I think, is after getting reamed out by Jonah Falcon. Getting the dwarf. The dwarf might be like a nice massage the next day.
You wouldn't feel it.
But what I'm saying is just think about all the dwarfs been through. You know what I mean? Made fun of on the
All the dwarfs been
schoolyard.
through. What about the woman getting plowed by a 13.5-incher? She should be in a wheelchair with an ice pack.
This guy's got it. Yeah, I get it, but emotionally, they do the dwarf toss in the pro wrestling, you know.
Yeah.
They have to play the fucking leprechaun every year for St. Patty's Day, and then one of Santa's elves, you know. It's humiliating, and now you're laughing at him because you just got done being reamed by a giant hog.
Yeah, I think the last thing a guy wants to hear when he takes his pants off is, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah. Woo! Are you in yet?
Ooh, dodge that bullet.
It's gonna sound like ringing that dinner triangle. All right, so Gina, you go whole hog first and then dwarf second?
No, I'm not insane.
You go
do
dwarf-
the appetizer, then the entree,
Okay.
The cocktail
all right.
wiener, and then
Yeah.
then the porterhouse.
All right, we good with that?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Has the tribal council all weighed in?
I think we've signed
okay,
off.
Let me tell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Mike Tyson says that when he fought Roy Jones Jr. in 2020, he was on a metric ton of psychedelic mushrooms. Tyson told the Pivot podcast that taking mushrooms and smoking weed isn't just for mental health. He said it helps me train, it helps me box better. When I'm fighting, I really don't feel the punches. It's really just like some magical shit. He added that he wished he knew about the positive impacts of mushrooms and weed earlier in his career. He wouldn't have felt anything.
Yeah, I interviewed Tyson at his house many years ago. And I remember, you remember Tyson it was about 10 years ago was like shuffling and looking very old and he looked a little decrepit. Remember they made that doc about him, and he was kind of like moving like an old blues singer and stuff. And I was like, what happened? And then I interviewed him, and he was spry and everything, and he got in a really good shape, and he sort of made a comeback. But when I was interviewing him, I always thought it was funny because I go, Mike, you look good now. Like the last time I saw you, you were kind of hunched over and shuffling around, and you look weak, but you look strong and positive. And he's like, yeah, man, I don't drink. I gave up the drinking. I gave up the drugs. No pills, no cocaine, no booze, no nothing. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he's like, no booze, no coke, no pills, no drugs. And I'm like, oh, no weed? And he's like, whoa, slow down. I was like, so he I think he went from sort of drugs as we know them, more in that realm, to the mushrooms and the pot, and that's a good thing. Although I don't know, because he wishes he was smoking a lot of spleef and doing a lot of mushrooms in his prime, back in his day. But Mike Tyson's whole persona was he was a maniac, and he was furious, and he was a beast in there, and he beat people by sheer force of will because he was so intimidating. And I just feel like the hippy dippy mushroom Mike Tyson at 19, we might not know who he was today.
True.
All right.
Yeah,
sorry.
but can you imagine being completely fucked up on mushrooms and getting punched in the face? That would be like the seventh circle of hell. I can't imagine anything more frightening.
Plus, I feel like if I did a whole bunch of mushrooms and had Roy Jones like work me, and he landed one good shot to the body, I think I'd shit myself. I'm pretty sure if I had a bag of mushrooms and Roy Jones went downstairs, I would fucking shit myself. Roy Jones, this guy loved fighting so much that he fought in like 55 professional fights. And then when he got home, his chickens fought. He did cockfighting when he got home. He was so into combat that when he was done beating the shit out of people, he would go back to his home and there'd be cockfights going on. I think he got into trouble with cockfighting. I know.
Speaking of which, that's the name of that show that's going to be out in the UK.
Yes, that's right. I know everyone looks down their nose at cockfighting, and I definitely judge those who do the dog fighting, the Michael Vick folks out there, but cockfighting, I eat like 70 chickens a year. I only eat like 3 dogs. I just feel like as long as there's an El Pollo Loco on every fucking corner in America, we shouldn't be judging. You know what I mean? Like if they had pig fighting, I'd just be more bacon for me. You know what I mean? Like if we eat it, we should be able to fight it.
That's actually a really good point, and they should advertise it like you want to eat the champion.
Oh, combat chicken.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, like I don't.
Extra crispy and extra feisty.
Yeah, I wouldn't condone dog fighting, cat fighting, although good luck getting them to do anything. Horse fighting, sea turtle fighting, shit I don't eat.
The list goes on.
The list goes on. Yeah, I cannot have time tonight to list all the things that I don't condone in the fighting. But if anything that's good in a taco, fight it out. I'll eat the loser. Let's do one more, Gina.
Oh, good. Speaking of fighting and food, 3 women have been arrested and charged with robbery and criminal mischief after they were filmed destroying a New York City restaurant and attacking the workers in a dispute for having to pay for extra French fry sauce.
Oh, okay. I always
We
do
have some
my
film for you to check out.
I do my ethnic stereotype wheel in my head when I hear it's like They destroyed
That's
the
right.
restaurant. Oh, fucking vegan activists. Fuck those cunts. But when it comes to fries, I switch to another ethnicity. Sorry, go ahead. What
Well,
happened?
you're going to look at it now, so
Oh.
they didn't want to pay the extra $1.75 for the extra fry sauce, so they went crazy. There's a 27-year-old, 25-year-old, 23-year-old, all facing criminal charges. The three women destroyed the computers, a cash register, other items in the restaurant. One worker was sent to the hospital for injuries, and two of the women were also seen twerking on the counter as they laughed and applauded.
We're now away from the white vegan activists.
here we
Sorry.
go.
We're very far away.
They're back there
Jesus Christ. First off,
for $1.75.
I am... Okay, we flew. What airline we fly? A Regent.
Allegiant.
Allegiant. I don't even know what that means. They charged us $5 each for a fucking boarding pass.
Just to print
We
out the boarding pass, yeah.
We went to check
What?
in. They're like, it's $5 for this piece of paper.
Wait, doesn't that come with the chair that you paid for?
One would think. It was like, I remember one time I got my car painted. It was like $129. And I was like, yeah. And then another fee for $33. And I'm like, what's the 33 for? They go, that's the catalyst so the paint dries.
You literally got charged.
You know what? I choose. I know I'm not gonna be bullied into dry paint. I'm just gonna drive this car away with fucking leaves and pine cones and shit stuck to it. Like,
Fool me once.
yeah, I'm with you. I think the $5 should be rolled into the actual price of the ticket. Now, Mike started twerking. And then he tried to go over the counter. And then
That video did.
I am absolutely amazed / freaked out over what fucking people will do over nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I get the whole Liam Neeson side of life where your daughter's abducted and they're turning into her white slavery and a prostitute or something. You've got to fucking react big time to that with your special set of skills. But when they're
No free ketchup, you go apeshit.
they charge you $1.25 for the fucking extra barbecue sauce. You don't have to go over the counter at that.
Not at all.
And then, by the way, what would you call being upcharged for barbecue sauce and the 1 to 10 scale of life? Is that a 2, 2.5? Like, what happens when we get above a 5? You know what I mean? Like, somebody swoops in and takes your parking spot at the Costco you're waiting for, or some shit like that.
You
Like,
gotta kill him.
you go full. You fucking go full throwing stars and nunchucks. Like, what the fuck at that point? All right, so did they arrest the chicks? Was that in New York, did you say?
Yeah, it was in New York. They were all very much arrested, and they're awaiting charges.
I will bet you, just like the dude who was in the bodega who got stabbed the other week because he went around the counter because his girlfriend's government-sponsored credit card didn't work on the bag of Doritos. First off, I would like to mate that guy. I'd like to reanimate him or harvest his seed and mate him with one of these bitches to get the most reactionary person on the planet, right? You are taking the egg of a woman who physically attacks someone because someone wants to upcharge him for barbecue sauce, and then the dude who's going to go choke out the guy who works at the bodega because the fucking government credit card didn't work for his girlfriend's fucking Doritos. Could you imagine how volatile that baby would be?
They just food process snack food and put it right in the bottle.
Yeah,
Fries,
Jesus.
Doritos.
Jesus goddamn Christ. And the dude who went around the counter, and we were talking about this on the podcast, was on probation. On probation. Like, you know one of these bitches is on probation. Why would you involve yourself in this kind of shit over nothing? Like, I get the part, You get a DUI, you get your license suspended, whatever, the fucking Uber guy doesn't show up and you go, I'm just gonna fucking drive my car 11 blocks to the fucking In-N-Out Burger. Where like, I get that part of breaking your probation. I do not get the part where there's a 89-cent sack of Doritos and you gotta go kick the shit out of the guy who tried to work the credit card machine while on probation. With the store that's filled with cameras and a telephone. Sorry.
I don't know, some ladies would say it's downright romantic.
No, yeah,
It's
that's right.
true.
Show for us.
All right, Gina, let's bring it home, baby girl.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.
All right, let's say goodbye to Gina and Balder, or as I know them, second and third place. Thanks for joining us. You get tired of winning sometimes, people. All right.
My God.
Shall we bring up our ball puller, Patrick? Did you guys fill out a ball? Oh, here we go. Patrick. Ball pulling Patrick. He's a truck driver. Long haul. Yeah, good. Whoa, don't sit in that seat. Whoa, don't. You're right on the edge. Oh, yeah. We were going to have a Bob Saget moment. I meant the fucking video show, you morbid assholes. I meant the family-friendly, wholesome video show, not the part where the guy conks his head and dies. Get your fucking head out of the fucking ground. You guys disgust me. Bob was a friend. Why'd you even bring him up? Yeah, for those listening at home, Patrick had the chair right on the edge of the stage, about 14 inches high, and was about to go ass over tea kettle there. Pull that microphone up to your face there. Long haul trucker?
Yeah, I go from here to California every week.
How long's it take?
Well, I drive by myself. It takes 2.5 days to get to LA.
Where do you sleep? Stay at the Ritz-Carlton or the Four Seasons?
Truck stops.
Truck stops.
Yep.
You sleep in your truck at the
Yes,
truck
I do.
stop? Feel
Yep.
safe back there? You got a shot?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you something I learned from watching the Fast and Furious franchise. Almost every trucker has a double-barreled, sawed-off shotgun. And by the way, can somehow reload while driving an 18-wheeler with their dick, I guess? Like, I don't know the fuck. You got a weapon on board?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got
For sure.
it. Hey, do you have one of those, just a guess, one of those sandwich makers you plug into the cigarette lighter? Just a wild guess.
No, I don't.
Oh, no.
Microwave.
You got a microwave. What can't you plug in? Like, they make the George
Oh, they
Foreman
have
grill,
everything. They
blenders,
have-
microwaves.
Yeah, they have grilled cheese. They have crock pots. They have anything you can imagine can plug in. Well, we have big inverters, that convert it to
Oh,
regular
right.
home
And
use.
what do you haul in mostly? Coors?
Coors Light.
Coors, okay,
Yeah.
good. What do you haul?
Now, from here we haul anything west, but coming back, mostly produce. Go up to Salinas, all the good spots.
Yeah. Geez, you hear about that thing at the border where it's like 53 people died in the back of the...
Texas.
In Texas, Jesus Christ. You guys hear that story? So weird and sad.
I always
Ugh.
leave the reefer on when I'm hauling a bunch of Mexicans.
You always
That doesn't
leave the
happen,
cooler going? You're a goddamn saint.
Yeah.
Especially during this kind of weather.
Well, I was a Boy Scout, so I try.
So when you're hauling Mexicans, now look, I don't want to take a turn for the racial here, but like I said, when I saw that blue-eyed guy pushing the broom, it damn near broke my heart. It really did. And I'm thinking we could solve this problem if you head out west, you drop off your load, and then you fill up with Mexicans and bring it right back here.
Well, outside of town, we have a lot of chicken plants.
Okay.
That's
okay.
where I drop
So you
them
do
off
have
at,
them. Okay,
yes.
good. All right. You want to pull a ball out of there? I think, whatever falls out, whatever comes out.
Cunt.
Cunt. Boy, where did you guys go to finishing school? All right, well, I know people who come to see me have delicate sensibilities, so I'll see if I can dance around this one. Cunt is, I'd say cunt is the N-word for ladies, right? It's up there? And I would say, except for I'll try not to get myself too much trouble here, but as it pertains to the N-word, I've listened to enough Kanye West to know he uses it a lot when he's singing, you know what I mean? But I don't hear Katy Perry using it a lot when she's singing. And maybe we could remedy that. Like maybe we should have women using cunt, because the problem with cunt, ladies, is you're essentially showing us your hand. You see, I'm a white guy, I'm hetero, you can't call me anything, I laugh about it. You can call me cracker or something, but it's not like, oh, you take that back. I just laugh, you know what I mean? It's like, let's get back to Roy Jones Jr. here for a second. Not because of the color of his skin, but if Roy Jones throws a body shot to someone and he sees the guy wince, he knows he's cracked a rib, and he's gonna keep going back to that spot because the guy showed it to him. You women freaking out over cunt just lets us know we get to use it and devastate you even more. And we keep it. I keep it like a little Derringer single shot pistol in our boot. And we catch you cheating at cards, we fucking pull it out. What you guys should do is remove all of the power of the word cunt, but the next time somebody calls you a cunt, you just laugh it off like we do with cracker, and then they'd stop using cunt. But you don't. You get fucking fly into a rage, get so insulted, and now we go, oh, good. We have it to use for the next argument. You guys women need to do what men do in England. Men call each other cunts in England non-fucking stop. I'm wondering if cunt doesn't hit as hard to English women because they've kind of gotten used to it because the men keep calling each other cunts. But let's try this. Let's try this, ladies. I'm gonna call you guys cunts, and then you all just go, oh, you, and laugh it off. You ready? Let me train you. You fucking ladies are a bunch of worthless cunts. Yeah, see, there you go. All right, go, fuck that, I'm not using that anymore. It's lost its power. Don't give us the power. We will use it for harm. Good, you little cunt there, Patrick. See, he's laughing. You little cracker cunt, you.
Well, I was married for years, so I'm used to being called everything.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what this is.
Normally, truckers are fine readers. Shellac.
Is that shellac?
Is that how you spell shellac? S-C-H-A, okay. Shellac. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, you guys know what shellac is, right? It's a kind of a, well, maybe the cunts don't know. This is funny, right? See? Boom, lost its power. All right, for the cunts. Shellac's like a clear varnish you'd put on woodworking. It also used to be something you would do if you beat the shit out of another baseball team or football team when you're playing pee-wee. You'd go, we shellacked them. We gave them a shellacking. I don't know why we used to say we shellacked them, but that, you guys, the old dicks out there, remember? Dicks and cunts, show. No, what I'm saying is we go, we gave them a good shellacking. And I don't know why it was a thing, but it was a thing, and it doesn't exist anymore. But speaking, and it was shellac, right? Who gave us shellac? Who in this audience?
Over there.
This guy? You a woodworker?
No, I know you were. So.
Oh, I used to be a woodworker. Yeah. I I like shellac. I don't know, is it the same as varnish? No one ever says, though, we fucking varnished the shit out of that team. We fucking Varathane the hell out of those guys. Next ball, I don't know. I only have so much shellac.
Hairbrush.
Hairbrush. Is that 2 words?
Well, it's Missouri, so
Yeah,
we make
all right.
up words.
I haven't used a hairbrush in 41 years. I was looking at a picture of myself. I don't know where the fuck I came upon this picture. I was like 13 years old. And it's back when I used to use a hairbrush and I tried to create a part and like feather my hair and mash this weird, it was somewhere between a pube patch and a Brillo pad. And it was like, it was such a shit box. And I used to have a hairbrush. It used to be a style. Remember guys had brushes, they'd hang it out of their back pocket? Could you imagine douchebags walking around with a hairbrush? And then the guys with the straight hair would feather it back. And they'd do this thing that was fucking obnoxious. So I had this weird kind of puby Jufro mess when I was in junior high. I was the worst of all the Brady boys. My hair would have been 10 times as bad as Peter's, even during those awkward teen years. And there would be these douchebags. I'm from California, so we had all these dudes with their blonde hair, and they'd get their brush out. And this one guy named David would hang his head down, and he'd comb it out backwards, and then he'd do a double pump flip, and it would all land all fucking feathered back. Looked like Leif Garrett or one of the Cassidy boys or something, and I just sit there with my weird puby Jewy thing trying to mash it. Like I didn't brush my hair, I moved it, you know, and I like moved it down there and then lift this one over there, and it was such a fucking shit show. Oh, that's the picture. Where did that picture come from? Why was I looking at that? Did someone tweet
I have no
that?
idea, but somebody's selling it on eBay.
Someone's selling it on eBay?
So that's
How
where I found
fucked up is my hair? I didn't know. I had straight hair when I was a kid. You can see pictures of me when I'm 6, 7 years old. I look normal. My hair was normal, and then I guess I hit puberty, and my hair started to go all fucking cattywampus, and I didn't know what the fuck to do with it, so I would just try to mash it down with a brush. It was a disaster. Jesus Christ. That was probably the picture we're looking at here's, you know, I don't know, the 8th grade or something. It's probably the pinnacle of the shit hair. But it was a time when dude hair was almost as important as chick hair, which is a weird time in this country's history. I mean, think about it. It's really all about the chick hair now, right? Like the dude, shave your fucking head. Go full Jason Statham, right? This guy's bald. He's got a good looking lady. He can do whatever he wants. This guy's got short hair. This guy's got long hair on the top and short on the, you do whatever the fuck you want, right? And women, they wouldn't really judge you now. Like, okay, you like a nice head of hair, but it's not a deal breaker one way or the other. Back in 1977, 78, 79, the dude's hair was as important as the fucking chick hair. And if you had the shit pube briquette that I had on top of my head, you could not get laid. And you didn't have the option of shaving it off, because that just meant if you had a shaved head back in the 70s, that either meant you had cancer or your stepdad found a joint in your room and he was ex-military. You'd see a dude come in like, oh, fucking Bobby Wilhide. Well, look at him. Oh, what the fuck happened? Oh, shit, he got busted with something. If you had your head shaved, that meant your stepdad he found either like a joint or a butt plug or something under your bed, and he fucking got out that wall and went to town because he was a drill sergeant in the Marines in Vietnam era. So it's a better time. Thank you.
The good thing is there's no hairstyle nowadays.
There is none. There's no declared hairstyle. There is whatever fits, and with no judgment. You know, got the bald spot, fucking clip it off. Doesn't matter. Even pathetically, the man bun, which I always just want to set on fire when I see on guys. Just want to fucking come up behind them with a bic. Yeah, I'll run away yelling, "You'll thank me later." All right, let's pull another.
All right, I already pulled it. Divorce.
Divorce. Jesus Christ. Yeah, going through one about now. Not comfortable. Thanks for coming out, you guys. That's awesome. Thank you. I'm just gonna go crawl inside a bottle of Jim Beam in my dressing room, and then I'll be out for the late show with half the shit I earned. Get him in a bad headspace, man. Patrick, we gotta get me another ball. I gotta get back. Gotta get my mojo back. Give me something with woodworking so I can get back into a headspace that's more positive.
Ceviche.
Ceviche. Ceviche, I feel like I missed ceviche for the first 42 years of my life, and then it came in like gangbusters, like prostate cancer or something. Like it just swooped in, you know what I mean? A lot of truckers eat ceviche?
Only the Mexicans.
Only the Mexican truckers. Boy, you really got it out for the Mexicans, don't you?
Well, no, I didn't. I meant the ones that
I did. I made fun of them in a loving way. Ceviche. I'll tell you the best ceviche I've ever had. Actually, I went now. Is it? I'm gonna ask Chris. Is it normally with shrimp, or you can just do it with any fish?
It's fish, yeah. It's raw fish, like kind of cooked with the lemon juice.
I went to Mexico and I did some fishing in Mexico, and I got a dorado. You guys see what a dorado looks like? It looks like a big, I don't know, kind of a weird tuna. It's like a flat tuna or something like that. I don't know, it's in the tuna family or whatever. And a couple of things. The way you kill the fish is once you gaff it on board, a barefoot Mexican guy hits it with an aluminum baseball bat, which feels very like I like ceviche, I like fishing, but this feels like a kind of mafia-based payback, you know what I mean? Like it feels, I just want the fish to just, tap out. I don't want to hit it with a bat. I remember this guy, it's a small boat, and the guy's free, everyone's wearing flip-flops, and this guy's just angrily swatting this fucking thing that's flopping at our feet and just cracking it with the bat. And the fish has to be confused, right? It's got to be like, Jesus Christ. First, all I'm doing is swimming amongst my peers, minding my own beeswax. The next thing you know, a fucking jagged hook gets stuck in my mouth. You pull me onto this pontoon boat, I can't breathe, and there's a crazed barefoot Mexican swinging an Easton bat at me. And I get the part where you want to put me out of my misery, but you hit me in the dick. Just fucking conk me in the head and let's put me out for good. But we got that dorado and we took it in and we made ceviche out of it, like fresh, tail still wagging while we were eating it, ceviche, and it was fucking awesome. Although it's not really why isn't ceviche a taco offering? It's perfect for tacos, right?
Yeah, it's usually just an appetizer. You serve it with chips. But yeah, it'd be great as a taco fill.
I would eat a ceviche taco. It also sounds like a nice euphemism for a woman's part, you know what I mean? That was that date last night. Oh, I got into her ceviche taco. Oh yeah. Had to get past the dorado smell, but once I made it past that. Come on, cunts, laugh it up. All right, let's pull one more, Patrick.
All right. Cheat. Cheat.
Cheek.
Yeah.
Oh, cheat or cheat?
Cheat with a T.
With a T, cheat. I never was a cheater. I didn't even cheat. Like I wasn't a cheater in my marriage. I wasn't a cheater in high school. I tried to cheat. You know, I would cheat through a kind of positioning. You know, like I'd always be like, you know, when they were. You know, when you first day of class and you have to sit somewhere, and I would tend to try to be as far away from the teacher as humanly possible. So my move in class, because I never studied or read textbooks or anything, I had a kind of a two-part move. Like my plan is to be as far away from the teacher. I need my seat as far away as humanly possible from the teacher, but as close as possible to an Asian. So there was a little alchemy there, you know what I mean? I had to figure it out, because sometimes the Asian would be a little closer to the teacher, and I had to figure out, do I want to sit in the back and cheat off the dumbos who sit in the back? Because all the guys who sit in the back, those are just my doofus friends. That's the blind leading the blind. I needed to, but the Asians were smarter. They didn't mind being as close up to the teacher. So I would slide in. I would, you know, tuck in like a bump draft. You guys watch NASCAR? I would bump draft an Asian, and I would just do the same thing. And then what happened with me is the teachers caught on to me. And so what they would do is, you know, Cynthia Nagatani, who sat in front of me, would get a 92 on her Scantron sheet. I would do a mirror image of Cynthia Nagatani's Scantron sheet. I'd just be like, number one's a B, and then C, and then a D, and number two. I'd do the same thing. She'd get a fucking A with a 93. I would get a D. Because they knew what I was doing, but they couldn't prove it, and they also knew I wouldn't be outraged. You know what I mean? I wouldn't burst into their office and go, this is an outrage. Cynthia Nagatani, I did every single, I fucking copied every goddamn answer that cunt put on that fucking Scantron. How dare, she got an A. How dare you? Give me a D. This is an outrage you'll be hearing from my parents. They fucking knew what I was doing. They knew it, but they fucking... At a certain point, you really understand that I've learned through COVID that teachers hate going to school as well. And I want to know where these teachers were when I was in school, because... You know what the fuck I would have done with I'm from California. My kids took a year and a half off. I mean, I would stab myself in the calf with a steak knife to see if I could stay home for 2 fucking days. It'd be like a guy didn't want to go to Vietnam, like shooting himself in the fucking thigh. You know what I mean? Just so I didn't have to go in country. Stab myself with a number 2 pencil in the ear just to get the fuck out of that class for 2 days. These assholes got to stay home for a year and a goddamn half. I would have been out of my mind if I got to. I'd be even dumber than I am now. Jesus Christ, home. And by the way, I don't know if your kids had to do this, that home learning shit. You want to talk about cheating. There's fucking computer open, looking up every answer. I'd walk into my son's room, he'd have his computer on with the teacher on it. He'd be in bed with the cover pulled over his head. There was zero learning going on. And I guess there's no reason to cheat anymore because everything is just in your phone, right? So in a way, the phone has every answer. It's leveled the playing field. Now, with this device called a phone, we're all Cynthia Nagatani. And she was kind of hot, too. All right, one more ball, Patrick, one more.
Now, you got to remember, we didn't have Cynthia Nagataki in Springfield.
You didn't have those out here.
No, we had to look for the smart.
Yeah, who do you cheat off of? You don't have Jews, you don't have Asians? No. Who are you cheating off of here, man?
The girl with glasses.
Oh, you go with the girl with the glasses. Yeah. Smart, yeah. Yeah, and maybe a headset for braces.
Oh. Definitely.
Okay, so
yeah.
you go. So if I went to school out here, I wouldn't be basing it on Asians or Jews. I'd be focusing on orthodonture.
Exactly.
It's a good call. Heavy set is nice too. I feel like they work a little harder in the classroom. They got to.
They work harder everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Last ball, Pelosi.
All right, last ball.
Pelosi.
Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi. Is there something wrong with that woman? What is wrong with her? What? I get it. Like, I was literally saying this to Tucker Carlson yesterday, which was like, I get it. There's disagreements. There's people on this side of the aisle. There's people on that side of the aisle, whatever it is. And then there's Nancy Pelosi, who's just fucked up, right? She's just fucking, first off, her hand is flying around like, I mean, she cannot talk without her hands. She has no control over her hands. She sat in the back of the State of the Union, did that weird over-the-top rip-off. She's ripping the State of the Union in half. She was like 78 and a half at the time. She's third in line for the presidency. Have a little fucking dignity and decorum. Also, she had that thing where she got her fucking hair done up during COVID, which is always nice. She also then, like, during COVID, remember that whole thing where she stood in front of her double-wide Sub-Zero stainless steel refrigerator? Like, she has a fucking house that has a $47,000 refrigerator in it. Like, Nancy Pelosi's, I'm not kidding you, Nancy Pelosi's refrigerator was worth way more than the house I grew up in. And you could have thrown the car in too. Still monetarily would be dwarfed by Nancy Pelosi's refrigerator. And at some point, like an airline pilot, shouldn't these fucking people age out? Like, she seems scattered and spastic and fucking weird, and her hands are flying around. But I will say this. She has an ample bosom. She's a bosomy woman, and I gotta tell you, AOC's got a pretty stellar rack as well. And it is for those reasons I like them. Thanks, you guys, for coming out tonight. Put your hands together for Patrick over here. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Gina Grad and Bryan and Patrick. Sing mahalo. My fucking kids, those little shits grew up in 7,300 square feet with a fucking infinity edge pool. So are people gonna think, oh, they're keeping it real in La Cañada? Sonny Carolla's living in the same mansion he grew up in. Still's got the same Grubhub guy dropping off the food. Keeping it real.